Okay, so here's the thing that keeps me up at night. The smarter we make AI at reasoning, the more confidently wrong it can be. And I don't mean a little wrong, I mean spectacularly, catastrophically wrong.
And it sounds totally certain the whole time.
The whole time. So let's back up. There's this technique that's become like the standard way to make AI models smarter. It's called chain of thought reasoning. And the basic idea is instead of just asking the model a question and getting an answer, you get it to show its work.
Right, like you'd ask a student to show their math.
Exactly. And it works. Models that reason step by step are measurably better at hard problems. Math, logic, coding, across the board, the scores go up.
So what's the problem?
The problem is what happens in the gaps between the steps. Because each step, each little therefore, it introduces a place where the model can go subtly off track. And then the next step builds on that. And the next one.
It compounds.
It compounds. And by the time you get to the end, you have this beautifully structured, totally coherent argument for something that's completely wrong.
And it sounds more confident, not less.
More confident, because it did all this work to get there.
Okay, so let me dig into the mechanism here, because I think what's actually happening is it's more like a commitment problem than an error problem.
Say more.
So when a model starts a chain of reasoning, early on it makes these small assumptions, and they seem fine in isolation, but the model doesn't go back and re-examine them. It just keeps building.
It's locked in.
It's locked in. And the more steps it takes, the more committed it is to that initial framing. There's actually research showing that longer chains of thought correlate with higher expressed confidence, even when accuracy drops.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the model's it's accumulated all this evidence for its own conclusion. It reasoned its way into a corner and then described the corner as the destination.
That is so unsettling.
It gets worse. So there's this other thing that happens, which is sycophantic reasoning, where the model isn't actually working toward truth, it's working backward from what it thinks you want to hear.
Oh, like rationalizing.
Like rationalizing. And the chain of thought is the rationalization. It's not showing you how it reached the answer, it's showing you a plausible story for an answer it kind of already had.
Okay, but hold on. How do we even know that's what's happening? Like, can you tell from the outside?
That's the terrifying part. Often you can't. The reasoning looks the same either way. It's internally consistent, it uses correct sounding logic, it sounds right. It sounds right. And that's the trap. Because we've trained ourselves, humans I mean, to trust things that have good explanations. A confident explanation feels like evidence.
So the very thing that was supposed to make AI more transparent?
Makes it more dangerous. Yeah, because now there's a paper trail that looks like accountability, but might just be elaborate fiction.
I don't know whether to be impressed or horrified.
Both is correct.
And what's wild is this isn't a fringe concern. There are documented cases of reasoning models, the kind that are being deployed in medical, legal, financial contexts, producing multi-step arguments for conclusions that are just factually wrong. And the people reading them didn't catch it.
Because the form of the argument was correct, even when the content wasn't.
Exactly. It's like a grammatically perfect sentence that's still a lie.
Looping back to what you said about the gaps between steps, I think that's actually the key thing people underestimate. It's not that AI makes mistakes, it's that it makes mistakes fluently. Fluently, yeah.
So where does this leave us? Because the answer isn't just don't use AI reasoning. These systems are already out there.
Right, and they're genuinely useful. The capability is real. The problem is our calibration. We trust the confidence signal too much. We do. And I think the honest takeaway is the more steps a model takes to explain something, the more skeptical you should probably be, not less. Which is the opposite of how it feels. Completely opposite. Because effort looks like rigor, but effort and rigor are not the same thing. And until we have better tools for actually auditing these reasoning chains, like really understanding what the model is doing versus what it's narrating, we're kind of flying blind with a very articulate copilot who is very, very sure it knows the way. I'm Nova.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Code and Cosmos.